Another update. This is Wednesday, February the 26th. So I've been doing this now for about a week and a half. This coming Saturday will make, or this coming Friday will mark the 2-week day on the project. So quick update on what we've got. I've been leak testing. I feel confident now that the bottom of the tank is pretty well sealed. I've had no leaks from the tank. Looks like we got maybe about 4 or 5 inches of water in there, so I feel pretty good about that. Again, the siphon stopper, siphon stopper is set up in there. I put the lights in. They're not plugged in right now. As you can see, all the wiring and everything coming down. And I've got the tubing set up for the overflow box ready to test. That's the next big test I'm doing. So just a quick update on some other stuff down here. So again, you saw the plumbing before this. I created a bit of a chase. There's a 1.5 inch pipe that goes up to the up behind the tank where all these wires are coming out of. It's gonna make it a hell of a lot easier for me to get wires up and down when I need to. I won't have to do it as often now, because there won't be as much stuff up there. But it does just, the chase will make my life easier. So I'm probably gonna get an elbow, a 90-degree elbow for this to go straight down to make it a little bit easier. Because there'll be a cabinet in front of this with a hole, cabinet's got a hole in the back of it. Again, over here on the side, I've got all the plumbing over here. That top main line that you see like right here, there was an issue with it right at that junction right there where it was stretched a bit thin. So I ended up cutting that, and everything from that bracket right there all the way down is brand new. I also went through and had to redo the top 2 lines in the plumbing, part because of leaks and part because of slight stupidity and oversight. So again, the way this is going to work, this is the return from the sump, or from the overflow. It's the input from the sump. So the overflow is to the sump. The water is going to flow in here, the dirty water. This union valve right here. I have another piece that goes on like this, comes across, and will go right down into the input of the sump. That'll sit right here. The reason I did it with a union, everything is all using hard PVC except for 2 small exceptions. So I'll go over those in a minute. I guess down under the sink, there's only 2. So what this will allow me to do though, is that I can put the slip 1-inch fitting into the input of the sump. And I will be able to then have it go in and then connect in with this ball valve, or this union, and just screw it in, make it nice and tight. So that'll be nice. And then this valve will normally be open for water to be going in. For the return from the filter water, there will be a pump in the sump right about here, pumping water up. It'll go into a barb adapter that I've already got set up. It's sitting in the sink right above me, and that will flow water all the way up into the thing, going through this line right here, and then that is the smaller one that you see back there that is going up. And if you can see that you can't really see it in the back of the tank there. There you go, back of the tank there. So there's also another ball valve shut off that'll go straight to the siphon stopper. And then when I want to have fresh water into the tank, I teed off behind there. The cold water comes back over this way, up, around, and then it's a little hard to see because it's kind of hidden away behind stuff, but that is currently closed right now. But if I open that up, fresh water will flow straight into the tank from the siphon stopper. What I did here is I added a ball valve here. This is one of my mistakes, is I had the ball valve and the union had them swapped. So when I would, it just didn't make sense. I couldn't disconnect this piece here, which was going to cause a problem with the flow and everything. Every time I'd open it up, water from this entire line would come right back, which is not a ton of water, but it's at least like 2 or 3 cupfuls of big size cups like that. Anyway, so what I'll end up doing is I'll close this valve here so water doesn't go back into the sump, fresh water. I'll close this valve off, and then I'll open this one up down here. That'll pump water back into the tank, fresh water into the tank. And then when the tank level's where I want it, close this valve off, open that valve back up, turn the pump back on, good shape. Now the cool thing I've added here is I have an emergency overflow. So that's the one, this entire line is all brand new because I had a leak coming from the union, and I had a leak where it connected to the drain. Found a nice little spot here where I'm able to have a full like adapter into the sanitary drain going straight down the drain to the tank. So if the sump can't keep up with the amount of water that's going in the tank, or if I forget and leave the freshwater return on, emergency overflow is going to catch the extra water in the overflow box. This valve will always be open with one exception, and that'll go straight down to the back down here through a P-trap and down the drain. So a nice sealed thing. When I want to siphon the tank, I have my siphon with a quick release set up right here. So my siphon, I'll start a siphon going in a bucket. I'll connect it to this quick connect. I'll open this valve up like that. I'll open the valve up here. It's the only plumbing mistake that I've made, that I wish that this was on its side and not straight up, because there's going to be a plate that goes across the top of it. This guy right that you see right here. It's got switches that'll be hanging down as well. For the lights under the sink. Because I've got lights that are on and off for this. Anyway, so I'll open that up and that'll pump water. That'll have my siphon go straight down into a P-trap through this line here, back down, and all the way down the drain. The only reason why I would ever shut this off is if I was siphoning. I don't want the siphon water to come back into the emergency overflow for any reason. I want to make sure it's always going down that way. So I would shut this off. I'd shut that off while I was siphoning. Otherwise, that's always open. All right, that's basically it. What's left to do is fill the tank up even more, hook up wires and stuff like that. I need to do one more leak test from the overflow box all the way down with these two big 1.5-inch lines. Make sure that all of this is nice and sealed and there's no issues. Then I can put all these cabinets back underneath it and have the cabinets back the way I like them. I can then go through and set the sump up. I'm in good shape there. Before I do the sump, my sink is leaking, so I have to replace the drain. Here, it's actually a problem up in the sink, so I'm going to replace this whole piece right here, new plumber's putty and everything. Make sure no leaks are right there, and I think that's all that's done. And then set the sump up. The sump will go right here. The sump is sitting over behind me somewhere right now. But that's it. That's the quick update. Plan is, if I was going to be around all weekend, then I would have water flowing between the sump and the tank nonstop for the next few days. However, I'm going to be gone from like midday Friday until Sunday night, and so I would want to be home when I start running the cycle and make sure if there's a leak, I'm here and I can deal with it. So it's probably not going to be until next week. So today's Wednesday, so probably Monday or Tuesday when I can really start running this nonstop. But I'm going to try and get everything up and running at some point tomorrow or Friday will be the next 2 days. So that's today. Again, today's Wednesday. I hope everything is flowing and the cabinets are back where they're supposed to be at some point tomorrow.